Hello and welcome back to another episode of this week's watches, and this is the final episode of 2022, and what an incredible year it has been. Thank you all very much for the continued business, for the support, for watching these videos, for whatever it is you've been doing. I really appreciate it, and it's really, I mean, this year's been incredible. It's been a very unpredictable year. There's been a lot happening, but it has been a very great year nonetheless, both personally and for business. And I'm excited to see what next year brings. You know, there's towards the end of the year, there's definitely been some well, I mean, the market's been all over the place, let's be honest, and that's been every market and every industry. So it's been quite interesting navigating that and seeing where we end up. But to be honest, I mean, all considering, it's still been incredible, and it's been a very good year and a very good end to the year. So I really do appreciate it. Now, when you're watching this, obviously it's the 31st of December this video goes up, and the next drop won't be until the 14th of January. So there will be no drop next Saturday, but the following Saturday there will be a drop. I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas and looking forward to a great new year as well. We managed to time it so that way there was a drop for Christmas and a drop for the new year. I'm actually recording this on the 20th of December because the following day, 21st December, is when we close for Christmas and we come back in the new year. So I'm really excited for that break. So when you're watching this, I will be in my break mode, that's for sure. Now, obviously, during that time, we will still be responding to emails. We'll be still responding to messages, just at a slower rate. So do be patient. Do bear that in mind as well. And in terms of shipping, we'll be coming back officially to the office 9th of January. However, I will probably be in before that to process some orders and ship some watches out. So yeah, just keep an eye out on the emails and we will confirm when stuff's being shipped out. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Now let's go on to what's on wrist. As I'm recording this directly after the other video, I'm still wearing the Brunswick Brown, my personal one, limited edition of 5. I love this watch. It works so well. You know, I'm not someone who dresses smart, so for me, having a very sophisticated dress watch doesn't really work for me. And when I have that kind of stuff, I tone it down instantly with a very sort of playful strap. That's what I like to do. So for me, this is that perfect combination of both worlds. It's a very dressy watch in the regards of the design, but it can be toned down so perfectly with something like this brown suede. And that is why I love this watch and I wear it regularly. So yeah, that's all the rambling out the way. Let's crack on with what you're here to see, this week's drop. Now, to end the year, I thought, why not go a bit all out with some crazy stuff. Let's get some stuff that's really Marmite, so to say, and sort of test the waters. I think it's an interesting thing to do. At the end of the day, we are known for stocking stuff other people don't stock, and getting the brands or the watches in that maybe people have never even heard of. And it's what I really enjoy doing, you know, opening people's perspective to other watches. And it's what happens when people come to the office to look at watches. You know, they're able to actually look at a range of things from a range of brands, a range of prices, a range of ages, and it just really opens collectors' eyes to the possibilities that they could go in for their collection. And that does involve sometimes things that are very left field, like the first watch we're going to look at today, this crazy bronze U-boat limited edition. We've sold U-boat in the past. We have never stocked one on the website. So I thought, let's change that. Let's get the most U-boaty U-boat we can possibly get. And I think we've done that. So let's take a closer look at this. So starting off this week's episode with something very Marmite. This is a U-boat U-51 Chimera bronze limited edition of 300. And the reference to this one is 6945. Now let's get on to practicality, or how you use it. You've got a traditional chronograph right there with the date over here at 9 o'clock, and everything is on the left hand side. So you have your crown here protected by this crazy crown guard that U-boat are very famous for. Now if you push in this button or the chrono right here on the bottom side, that is to start and stop the chrono, and this one is to reset. Now this crown you can't use. This is actually a screw down cover that you unscrew, and it reveals the crown right here, as you can see. And obviously this crown works as you would expect, so winding that way winds the watch. Pull it out one, it does the date, and pull it out all the way, and you've got to get good grip and really pull it. You are in the time changing position. You don't have to be fragile with this. You've got to proper get your nails in there and give it a good pull, because it is quite a small crown, but then you are all set, and then obviously screw it back down. So this is kind of the design U-boat are very famous for, and it's one that you either love or you hate. You've got a nice signed crown right there. The construction of this watch is incredible. It is very, very well made. There is no question on that. Obviously, it comes down to taste and design. Obviously, this is a bronze watch, and you have a plaque right here stating the limited edition number, and a sort of brown tinted sapphire crystal caseback revealing the movement right there with a decorated rotor. This is an automatic ETA /Valjoux 7750, and this watch is from August 2013 with its box and paperwork paired on its original strap with a U-boat bronze buckle, as well as you'd expect. It's just a very interesting looking watch. Again, it won't be for everyone, and that is perfectly fine. We're not here to find watches that every single person likes. We're here to find interesting watches that tell a story and show something different, and I think we've achieved that with this U-boat. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. So this is by no means a small watch, and you have to have I would say big wrists and also really like big watches to be able to get on with this one. It's 46mm by 56mm lug to lug, 18mm thick and 20mm lugs. It is heavy and it is bold. And if you're into that, this is going to be perfect for you. So go check it out on the website today. Now from the U-boat, that was definitely left field. Let's go to something that a lot of you will know and a lot of you will be very comfortable seeing after that to regain some composure for some of you. This is the Fierce Brunswick White, the Polar White, but the Mark II dial. So let's take a closer look at this one. And next up is a unworn Fierce Brunswick Polar White Mark II dial. On the website we do explain what that means, so go check it out. But in unworn condition, it looks truly fantastic. I mean, it's going to be no surprise, the Brunswick is a great watch and one I am personally very fond of, as a lot of you know, owning a Brunswick Brown myself, and the white is where it began for the Brunswick, and it's also the most true to the original in my opinion, which is obviously based on a sterling silver watch from the Fierce past. You've got a nice onion crown right there, really beautiful white dial which just plays with the light beautifully. The blued syringe hands as well. Again, overall design is perfect. As we flip it over, you do have an exhibition caseback, again with the golden Fierce pipette on the movement right there. This is a manually wound ETA 7001, and the reference to this one is the BS 23800A. And this one's from August 2019. And it does come with its box and paperwork. And it does come paired on its original strap, which does have a crease, and that is because it is fastened in the box, so do keep that in mind. But the watch is sold in unworn condition. So let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go, rested on my 7-inch wrist. What you're looking at is 38mm by 42mm lug to lug, 11.8, so basically 12mm thick, and 20mm on the lug, so endless options. And this watch really does work on a huge variety of straps. So check this one out on the website today. From there, let's go to something a bit more left field again, but less so than the U-boat. Let's go over to the Schofield. This is another beta. We had a beta in the last week. We've got a beta in this week. This is the Beta 3, a very, very cool looking watch. And again, you guys and girls know I love what Schofield are doing. It's very them. You can see it a mile away and you know it's Schofield. That, in my opinion, is good design. So let's take a closer look at this watch. Next up, we have the Bronze Beta 3 from Schofield. This is absolutely amazing with a beautiful dial right there. And the case, the way the case is aged is really, really nice. It looks almost like old copper, which I really like, and it has the sort of different patina in different areas where clearly more areas have seen wear than others and sort of just natural age. I like it. I really like it, but that comes as no surprise. I've said many times I'm a big fan of what Giles at Schofield is producing, and this one is no exception. You have the really attractive blue dial with the sign of life indicator right there in the center, slowly spinning around. It's basically your seconds hand. You have the nice steel crown right there and a very nicely decorated caseback with the B3 stated right there. You've got a nice Schofield strap, as you'd expect, with a matching tone buckle, which looks really, really good. The reference is the BBB3. Inside this one is an automatic STP 1-11, and this one's from January 2019 with its box and paperwork. But let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. So Schofield is by no means a small watch, and they don't produce small watches, but this is very bold, and if you're into this kind of thing, it really works and it does look good. So what you're looking at is 45mm by 52mm lug to lug, 14mm thick and 24mm on the lugs. So this is one to check out on the website today. And from there, let's go over to a watch I'd never heard of, I'd never seen, I didn't even know it existed, and this is a brand called Offshore. Now, at first I thought it was a Maserati watch, because the logo looks like the Maserati, right? But yeah, it's a really interesting brand. We've done a very good write-up, so I'd recommend you read that. But let's take a closer look at this watch. And next up, the Offshore Chronograph, as it's called. This is the Field Engineer Type 00. As I said, when I first saw it, I thought it was something to do with Maserati, but this is actually heavily inspired by the Fibonacci sequence. So for those of you who don't know, the Fibonacci is the continuous circle, the sign of the sort of creation of life and the perfect symmetry, as it's known, and that is their sort of theory of design. Unfortunately, the brand isn't around anymore, but they made very few of these. We've got a big sort of write-up on the website and one well worth checking out, but it is a very interesting design. You've got this really sort of knurled edge kind of finishing across the pushes and everywhere. It makes it very quick to tell what you're doing. Exhibition caseback with a nicely decorated rotor right there, and that is a automatic modified ETA Valjoux 7750, so a very good movement nonetheless. Yes, it's a bigger watch, but it still looks very, very cool. We've paired it on this nice grey sort of leather strap. It does come with his unworn bracelet and a deployant buckle that you could fit to a strap as well. This strap is too thick for that deployant, which is why we haven't put it on, but a regular size strap that isn't padded like this one, it would work perfectly fine. But yeah, an interesting watch, an interesting brand doing an interesting thing, and this one's from June 2016 with its box and paperwork, including its USB dog tag, which has all the information about the watch. But let's show it on the wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. So again, this really won't be for everyone, and that is perfectly okay. I don't think one of these have actually been resold since the company's gone under. So 44mm by 54mm lug to lug, 14.5mm thick and 22mm on the lugs. So go check out this interesting watch on the website today. From there, let's go over to the Tudor Royal. This is the Royal Date Black Dial, a very good looking watch if you're in the market for something quite like this, and I think Tudor really knock it out the park with this one. So let's take a closer look. Next up is the Tudor Glamour Date right here with the black dial, a very good looking watch, and again it sort of combines both the world of the Rolex Datejust and the Day into one, with multiple different design features, including an engine turn bezel, a very interesting sort of Jubilee style bracelet, nice folding clasp, and obviously a nice automatic movement as well. I think Tudor are doing great things, and again at their price point you just really can't go wrong. You know, you're getting that Rolex pedigree as well as Tudor's own pedigree with Wright as well. So this is the reference 28500. Inside is the automatic Tudor caliber T601, which is basically a modified ETA. Not that there's anything wrong with that, just making it clear. And this one's from May 2022 with its box and papers, so still under its manufacturer warranty, and it's just in very good condition, very lightly worn. But let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. You can see this watch looks very, very good. It fills the wrist nicely without being too big. It's 38mm by 45mm lug to lug, 10.5mm thick and 23 on the lugs, which is obviously an integrated bracelet design and very, very comfortable. So go check out this one on the website today. And from there, the Fairer Lander Chronograph. This is another very good looking watch. I mean, we've had quite a few Fairers in this year. It's a brand I really like. I like what they do. I think at retail they're very fair as well. So when they become pre-owned, it just becomes unbeatable. There is not a lot of brands that can compete with what Fairer provide design-wise and quality-wise at this price range. So let's take a closer look at this one. Next up is this awesome Fairer Lander chronograph, and this is called the Sea Green model because the dial has this beautiful tone of blue and green, just like the sea. And I think it works super well with design. Fairer are definitely leading the way when it comes to design, in my opinion, with some of the British designers. It's just a good looking watch, and they can constantly produce good looking watches. I mean, when you look at the side of the case and the profile and the way everything is designed, there's attention to detail everywhere, including that crown right there, which is a bronze crown. You've got the pushers right there, and as we flip it over, a nicely decorated rotor on that automatic movement, which is an ETA 2894-2 Elaborate It just looks really good and is done very, very well to a high degree. Quick release on the straps, and it does come with a spare strap as well. This one is from May 2019 with its box and papers, and I don't think many of these have come up for sale at all. So if you've been waiting for one of these, now is your opportunity. I would jump on it. But let's show on wrist and taut dimension. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist, and again, this is where Fairer really shine, is because they make the watches very, very wearable. They don't fall into the trap of making them too big or too small. This is 39mm by 46mm lug to lug, 13mm thick and 20mm on the lugs. So endless options for strap changes, and it just looks really good. So go check this one out on the website today. From there, let's go over to a watch we've had a few times now, and it's always done very well. There's definitely a cult following for this. This is the Seiko Alpinist, the Ginza. Very cool watch. I nickname it the Spider-Man because the dial reminds me of Spider-Man, but it's a very cool watch, so let's take a closer look. Next up is the Seiko Alpinist Ginza, or the Spider-Man as I call it. A very good looking watch. I really love the dial on this one, and I think it's perfectly done. The contrast of that second hand as well is really beautiful. You've got a date over there, screw down crown as well, so 20 bars of water resistance, and the bracelet is a step above what Seiko usually produce. It is built far better than most of them. Also a nice exhibition case back as well, with a good movement. At the end of the day, Seiko makes some fantastic movements used by many, many brands. So this one is the SPB 259J1. Inside is the automatic Seiko Caliber 6R35, and this one's from October 2021 with its box and paperwork, and it is in good condition, slightly used, but again, to be expected. I wouldn't hesitate on this one personally if you've been after a Ginza. And again, the price of this one is fair, especially when you look around. Some people are asking ludicrous prices for this watch. Some are going close to £2,000. I have no idea why. Just over £1,000 or around £1,000 is perfectly fine. So let's show it on wrist and taut dimensions. And this right here is another reason why this watch has become so popular. It wears so well on the wrist. What you're looking at right here is 38.5mm by 46mm lug to lug, 12.5mm thick and 19mm on the lugs. A little bit awkward on the lug length, but there are options out there, although I would personally be keeping it on the bracelet. I think it looks really good. So go check this one out on the website today. And from there, let's go over to the Doxa Sub 200, probably one of the best value dive watches that has come out in recent years. I think Doxa have really gone to town with this watch, and the price it is retail is just mind-boggling. I don't know how they've done it. So when it becomes pre-owned like this, again, it becomes even better. And this is a 2022, so it's still got the rest of its manufacturer warranty left as well. So let's take a closer look at this one. Next up, the Doxa Sub 200 with this bright yellow dial. I think this looks fantastic. At the end of the day, I'm a big fan of Doxa and their history. I'm also a big fan of this dive range, and I think this model, when they released it, was a big shock to the watch collecting community because the price was so competitive, and it still is. And then when they become pre-owned like this one, it just gets undeniable how good the value is. I won't bore you with the reference to this one. You can see it on the website. It's quite a long reference, but you have a really gorgeous yellow dial, a nice black bezel which looks like Bakelite, and you have the yellow highlights, including in the crown with the fish. Nice case back and nice beads of rice bracelet, which I'm glad they include with this this model, because this is what makes this Doxa so good, in my opinion. This comfortable beads of rice bracelet. You don't see many brands doing beads of rice anymore. Inside this, beaten away, is an automatic ETA 2824-2, so a very reliable movement. And this one's from September 2022 with its box and paperwork, so still with the rest of its manufacturer warranty remaining as well. This is a deal not to sleep on. Let's show it on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. You can see that watch looks perfectly at home. 42mm by 45.8, so about 46mm lug to lug, 13.8, so about 14mm thick, and 19mm on the lugs, although I'd be keeping it on the bracelet. But there are options out there, and Doxa themselves do some very nice, very comfortable fitted rubber straps for this watch. So go check it out on the website today. Now let's go on to my favourite watch of the table, and one that if it doesn't sell, I won't particularly be mad about, but this is a very beautiful Omega 30T2 of the Arabic dial. I always keep an eye out for these watches. We've had multiple over the years. They just don't come up in good condition. Often the cases are often absolutely ruined. The dials are usually very bad, whereas this is a really nice tropicalized dial. So let's take a closer look at this one. And next up, as I said, one I won't be sad if it doesn't sell quickly. This is a very beautiful Omega from 1947. Yes, you heard that correct. 1947. This is a reference 13322/9493, and it is housed in a beautiful Omega Denison case. Denison made some of the most iconic, in my opinion, vintage cases back in the day, especially for Omega. And what you have right here is a beautiful Arabic dial with beautiful syringe hands filled with lume, which is aged perfectly and contrasts so well with that tropicalized dial. For me, this is the epitome of 40s Omega, and I think it just looks so good. Got it paired on this nice strap again, which really suits the watch. So yes, this is a manually wound Omega caliber 30T2 inside. As I say, circa 1947, in amazing condition when you really consider it, and it just looks so good. Let's show this one on wrist and taut dimension. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. What you're looking at is 33.5mm by 40.5mm lug to lug, 9mm thick and 18mm lug. So don't be put off by that case size. As you can see, it looks super good on the wrist and just works. So check this one out today on the website. Next up is one we forgot to do an intro for and forgot to include in the lineup, but here it is, a gorgeous Omega Seamaster chronometer signed dial, as you can see, with that really gorgeous texture right there in a yellow gold casing. So this is a reference 166.032, which is a gold cap over stainless steel with a stainless steel back, and we have had pretty much the exact same reference but in full 18 karat gold, which was a 166.022. So a very interesting watch, and obviously the solid gold one demanded quite a large premium for obvious reasons. I mean, when you see the watch, you'll see why, whereas this gold plated one is far more affordable and still absolutely gorgeous, and interestingly has a nice textured dial, whereas the other one had a spun dial. Still beautiful, but this is definitely an interesting look. Being away inside is the automatic Omega caliber 751, and obviously something to be stated is chronometer was, especially with vintage watches, chronometer was when it was made, so 1968 this was a certified chronometer. To get it back to chronometer spec is incredibly difficult and really not worth the amount of time it will take a watchmaker and the amount a watchmaker will charge you to do so. So it's running beautifully, it's been serviced, and it is perfect. But don't expect chronometer level readings out of a watch from 1968. You wouldn't expect the same mileage out of a car from 1968 if you're using it today. So don't expect that out of a watch as well. These are mechanical items. Do keep that in mind. What you have right there is a day date. To change the day, you have to manually go around, and to change the date, it is a pull crown. So the final position of the crown pops the date, as you can see, like so. Really gorgeous watch, very nice example, and one to definitely check out, and from circa 1968. But let's show it on wrist and taut dimension. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. So as you can see, 36mm by 41.5mm lug to lug, 11.5mm thick and 19mm lugs. A really gorgeous example, and one to totally check out if you're in the market for a gold tone Omega. This is the perfect one. Check it out today. And from there, we're left with two Nomadics. So Nomadic is a brand I've been seeing online for a little while. I've sort of seen some of their stuff on Instagram. Some of our customers actually own them, so it's been quite interesting to see them sort of gain the ranks among collectors, and a very organic growth. So it's cool to finally have two in stock, and I have to say I am very impressed with the quality. So we're going to start with this one, which I believe is the Crimson Dawn. That is this one. So let's take a closer look at this. So next up, this absolutely awesome Nomadic Crimson Dawn, as I believe it's called, with this beautiful crimson red bezel and the black dial, those stick hands and those round indices. It's obviously a sort of combination of a Tudor Black Bay or Tudor Submariner and a Rolex Submariner sort of bundled together with unique design cues which really work perfectly. You have a nice signed crown, which is screw down, and a very well finished case, as well as bracelet. A nice bracelet with a nice deployant and solid milled clasp, a nice solid screw down case back as well. And beating away inside this is an automatic Sellita SW200-1, so a very respectful movement, and it's from 2022 with its box and paperwork, as well as spare links, of course, and just a very good looking watch. As I said in the intro, I think Nomadic have been doing some great stuff, and I'm excited to see what they continue to do as time goes on. But let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. You can see it fills the wrist nicely, but isn't too big. So what you're looking at is 40mm by 11.5mm, 40mm by 49mm lug to lug, 11.5mm thick, and 20mm on the lug. So you can totally swap this out for different straps, but I think the bracelet really suits the design and it is incredibly comfortable. So go check out this one on the website today. And last but by no means least, we're going to go over to the final Nomadic on the table with this awesome green bezel. It is called Dark Atlantic Emerald. So let's take a closer look at this one. And next up is the one that they've called Dark Atlantic Emerald with this beautiful dark green bezel, which contrasts so well against the black of the dial. Very similar to obviously the Rolex Starbucks. And just like the other one, there is Rolex and Tudor sort of collaboration and homage sort of bundled into this one in a very, very nice way. Beautiful finishing, nice screw down crown, and inside is an automatic automatic Sellita SW200-1, and it's 2022 with its box and paperwork. Paired on its bracelet, it still has a sticker on its clasp which is milled as you'd expect, and a nice screw down case back as well. But let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. You can see that looks perfectly at home. So 40mm by 49mm lug to lug, 11.5mm thick, and 20mm on the lugs. So endless options for straps, but just like the other one, I would personally keep it on the bracelet. I think that's a good looking watch, super comfortable and really well proportioned. So go check it out today. So there you have it, guys and girls, the final drop of 2022. We didn't want to go out, you know, all out with the crazy most expensive things we could possibly get in. We wanted to do something a bit different, also whilst still being very much Kibble watches, right? A nice range in terms of ages, price ranges, and just sort of brands as well. And we also wanted to try something a bit different. I think ending the year with having a U-boat is kind of interesting. Some people will absolutely hate that, and others will think that's kind of cool. So I mean, for us, I enjoy different brands. I like what different brands are doing. So this to me makes sense. Just does. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you all again in 2023. Very excited. We'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.